Again, working back around 15 seconds to the orange gradient, we see an increase from around 25 to 28, 29 meters. Again, that would be sufficient to cause a flight climb event to be recorded.
I'd like to ask you
Sorry, I'll go back.
continue, and then I'll ask you, please.
Okay. I then compared that information to a topology website from the area, according to a topology website data, and plotted that out here. We see the red circle now is related to the first flight climb, the green circle to the second flight climb, and the orange circle to the third flight climb. The gradients that we see here are the same gradients that were shown on the previous graph. So the presumption is that within this red gradient is where the flight climb event occurred. Within the green gradient here is where the second flight climb event occurred, and within the orange gradient here is where the third flight climb event occurred. The white circles show the altitude of that particular location according to the topology website. So again, we see that for the red gradient, there's an increase from 43 to 47 meters. Between the green gradient and the green number 2, again, we're going from around 47 to 50 meters. And then with the orange gradient at the bottom, we've gone from around 26 to 28 meters. So fairly consistent with the data that was recorded on the device in terms of altitude information. And I would suggest is the reason that these flight climb events occurred.
Mr. Whiffen, there's 3 different times. The first is 12/22/17. At that time, was the Waze data app initiated?
It was.
And did that indicate whether or not Mr. O'Keefe or his phone were traveling in a car at that time?
It appeared to still be traveling in a car.
At 12/22/32, was the Waze data initiated and active?
It was, yes.
And at that time, does the data indicate that Mr. O'Keefe's phone was in a vehicle and moving?
It does.
And you showed us a slide finally from 12/24/37 that the vehicle was still moving 1.4 miles per hour.
Correct.
And was the Waze data initiated and active at that time, 12/24/37?
If I remember correctly, Waze had closed about 5 or 10 seconds earlier.
Now, based on your study of the Waze information, the location information, the topography, and the healthcare data, do you have an opinion to a reasonable degree of scientific certainty whether the indication on the healthcare data reflecting flights of stairs, do you have an opinion whether or not that was registered as a result of a person holding a phone, walking upstairs, or for some other reason?
Based on the location data, the health data, and the research that I did and the testing, I believe it is more likely that the device was in a vehicle traveling on a road going up an incline versus the location data being incorrect and the person being walking up physical stairs.
Thank you. You can continue, please.